So you've probably noticed in my little docu-vlogs that I've been obsessed with slow motion footage. In this tutorial, I'll show you 2 ways to shoot slow motion footage using a traditional camera and an iPhone, and then how to bring that footage into Premiere and work with it. So the first way to shoot slow motion footage is via a camera with high frame rate capabilities. I'm currently renting the Sony a6500 from borrowlenses.com for VEDA. It can shoot 120 FPS, which stands for frames per second. If you don't know about FPS, it's basically how many times the camera takes a picture per second when shooting video. All video is a string of moving pictures. The most commonly used frame rate is about 24 frames per second because anything below that looks really choppy and like stop motion-y. You can actually see the individual frames or pictures. And it doesn't provide that seamless movement of the natural eye. Anything above that is pretty much just extra, which allows you to add and create different effects or really focus in on the details of something moving very fast. So, first thing is shoot whatever you want to shoot. I shot some water boiling for the sake of this tutorial. With the a6500, I went into the camera settings and changed them to shoot 120 frames per second at 1080p with 100M. So not only is it shooting 120 photos or images per second, it's also getting a lot of information on each image to create the video clip. Now, if you don't have a camera like the Sony a6500 to shoot at a higher frame rate, chances are your phone shoots at a higher frame rate too. While you lose the capabilities of adjusting things like ISO and shutter and white balance, you'll probably still achieve at least a similar look for exponentially lower cost. I have an iPhone 7, not even the 7S Plus or whatever they call it, but just regular iPhone 7. To shoot at a higher frame rate natively, you just go into the camera settings and change them. Now we've gotten our slow motion footage on both the Sony and my iPhone 7. Let's hop into Premiere Pro. Disclaimer, I moved from Final Cut Pro 7 to Premiere Pro about 5 or so years ago now. All the shortcuts that you'll hear me using are based on changing Premiere's shortcut functions to match Final Cut Pro 7, because that's what I learned when I was in college and all of that. And so Premiere just made it really easy for me to adjust and switch from Final Cut Pro 7 to its platform by doing that. So here I've started a new project called Slow Motion. I'm importing the footage from my SD card from the a6500, and I just airdropped my slow motion footage from my iPhone to my MacBook Pro. You'll notice that I put the a6500 footage in twice. There's a reason for that. I like to keep one clip natively the same, how it's imported, and then I adjust the others so I can easily go back and forth between the two during editing. You don't have to do that, I just like to. So I'm gonna go ahead and label one slowed. Now, when you drop these clips onto the timeline, they play relatively normally. You don't really see the slow motion even though you shot at a higher frame per second. You can achieve it by adjusting the speed manually, which gives you more creative freedom during your editing. So hit Command J, which brings up the speed duration adjustments, and just start playing around. I noticed going lower than 20% begins to give you some choppiness and glitch, and your slow motion isn't quite as smooth. Another way to do it is to go to the clip you labeled slowed, right-click on it, go to Modify Interpret Footage, and adjust it to be whatever frame rate your sequence is. In my case, because I'm here in America, it's 24 frames per second. You'll notice your clip is longer now, and it's natively playing the clip at 24 frames per second, which will give it that slow motion effect. Now you can drag this clip into your timeline and again, adjust accordingly. Boom, that's 2 ways to play around with slow motion footage from your camera. Now to your iPhone footage. It's essentially the same thing. So yeah, that's how you can shoot, import, and edit slow motion footage. Go out and experiment. I find that shooting really mundane things in slow motion adds a flair to my everyday life and sparks creativity for me. Just taking in the detail and noticing the green on a plant or the intricacies of boiling water gives me a whole new appreciation for existence in all its forms. Just saying, I would love to see what you all create. Link to anything you shoot in slow motion in the comments below, or throw it up on Instagram and at me. I'm at Hallease. Anyway, I hope this helps, and I'll see you when I see you, which in this case will be tomorrow, because it's VEDA.